Can we go back and go to memory lane and remember when everybody was so excited that they announced the Starcruiser hotel or a Star Wars hotel? This was the big commercial that they put out there.
Wait to have you aboard.
Y'all remember this?
Galactic Starcruiser is
Where were you, Jeremy, when you first saw this?
I believe on Friday Night Tights. I think we reacted to this on Friday Night Tights.
Oh, I'm just too excited.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Notice how they hired the most beta bitch male.
So we've really focused.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they got a real winner with this guy. But then they did something that just reeked of Star Wars. This was the big draw for people to spend $6,000.
He even looks like he's having a hard time getting into this. He's like, oh God, they brought me onto this to see this.
That's Adam from the Goldberg.
Even Ripple was laughing.
You know how Batman and Robin used to be bad, but once we got past it, we could look back on it and just kind of enjoy the cringiness of it. I will never enjoy the cringiness of this. This was so fucking bad that I'll never be able to look back on this and just think like, wow, this was just a funny. No, it represents how out of touch with the Star Wars fandom and the Star Wars brand that they are. Holy
the crazy thing is they were like, you're going to have a Star Wars experience. We're going to take you to Batuu and you're going to pay $6,000 for 2 nights, $6,000 plus extras. And this is what they drove you around in for that $6,000. This is the box truck that they transported you in.
Rippa, can you buy this and just plaster Rippaverse on it just to, just to use it against them at this point? Damn it, man.
It's pretty wild, but everybody predicted it. That commercial that we just showed was actually deleted. It got such bad reviews, and Disney never really deletes anything, even if it gets ratioed really bad. But they got rid of that commercial quick because everybody was laughing at them, from Star Wars Theory to everyone else. And it only took about a year. Bob Chapek comes out when he was still in charge saying, oh man, this is the most successful thing ever. We're going to build one in California. We're going to build one in Paris. We're going to build one. As soon as he left and Iger came in, Iger looked at the numbers and we're like, we got to cut it. That was one of the first announcements that he did when he came back on, was kill the Galactic Starcruiser, the $700 million project where they thought that it was a glorious thing that every Star Wars fan from across the galaxy would come and hang out with. But obviously, no. And it closes in 2 days. People are on Twitter right now crying and stuff that they never got a chance to do it. And I don't know.
That's a typical leftist right there, to pretend that they care about something that they never were going to support in the first place. And then when it goes away, they want to get on social media and cry that, oh, I wanted to try this so bad. Yeah, I'm sure you wanted all those Rose Tico toys that have been on the shelf for the past 4 years as well, too, didn't you? I'm sure you wanted to support the Riva lightsaber that completely failed, but the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser will go down as one of the great failures, man. Holy shit.
It's massive. And then when they did their earnings call just last month, they blamed the Starcruiser as to why people stopped going to the parks and that the parks were losing money that quarter, that they blamed this Star Wars hotel. It's just been such a fascinating, slow train wreck disaster over the year. Everything that they've done doesn't say anything about Star Wars, anything that a Star Wars fan would want to do. Did people enjoy it when they went? I'm sure some of them did. But all in all, it was just we all called it from day one. There's no way that they could keep this open. And then for them to think that average people would have that kind of money to spend on a hotel. It's crazy to me to think that that's what they think average people would spend. Would it be more successful if it was cheaper? It might stay open a little bit longer. But again, we saw the progression. It got to this one point where they were running on 20% people. The thing holds about 150 people total. They were running it on 15 to 20 people in there at a time, and they just couldn't keep it open. And then there was other things that they were talking about doing. They were going to change it to the Mandalorian verse, the Star Wars holiday special. They were going to have Life Day, things like that. They were going to do that. And then Bob Iger just was like, it's better for me to take a loss and a tax credit than keep that thing open and change things up.